Welcome aboard everyone. This is part 2 of our South Sandwich Island expedition with Skip Novak and a team of scientists and a film team, of course. If you've missed part 1, click in the link above and catch up. If you've watched the first part already, join us as we sail from the South Sandwich Islands to South Georgia and on to the Falkland Islands, where we drop everyone off again.
Yeah, and we're really excited because on this trip up to South Georgia we're actually visiting somewhere completely new for us, as well as revisiting areas that we were at 5 months ago when it was completely covered in white snow. So I hope you enjoy the journey and stay with us as we sail up to South Georgia.
The albatross never ceased to accompany us, from the smaller mollymawks to the great albatross, such as this wanderer skimming the waves.
Skipper Chris, what's the weather update?
Yeah, just got a download. Luckily we left in time. I think we'll just make it to South Georgia before the worst of the weather comes. There's a massive low here, you can see, which is coming towards us. So this is a forecast. I'm quickly going forward.
And so where are we roughly on that chart?
We're getting close to South Georgia now. So we should get there before all this hits. But you can see on Friday morning the South Sandwich Islands have got big winds there, so especially northeasterly, there's absolutely no protection, so it's really good that we left.
That's a good call, Skipper.
Yeah, I think we're going to be tucked into Larsen Harbour, nice and safe,
well, that's good.
While there's a storm blowing over the South Sandwich Islands.
That's the one place I want to go to.
Yep.
As we got closer to South Georgia, the winds eased and we glimpsed some blue skies. Here we shook out some reefs and Pelagic sailed along under full canvas.
Hey Soph,
Hey.
what book are you getting out today?
I'm getting out the new South Georgia guidebook because we're just a few miles away from South Georgia and we're hoping to pull into Larsen Harbour, which we're really excited to go there and hopefully drop anchor because last time, 5 months ago, we couldn't actually get in. It was blockaded by these huge icebergs. Now this time of year it should be free, so we're hoping to go in there and have a good couple of nights rest in there and explore a little bit. And it's right down this end of South Georgia, so it's a new place for us and I'm just reading up about it. I'm really excited to go there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Cool.
Arriving in Larsen Harbour, it was flat calm. Sitting in this protected anchorage, we could finally relax. And Thomas, the tender driver, finally had a break. Some of us couldn't wait to hop in the dinghy to cruise along in its waters. Steep mountains loomed over us and cast pristine reflections on its still waters. If the chart would be right, we would be driving over glacier right now. And look where it is now. It retrieved so much.
Really?
Yeah, massively. Have a look on the chart later and like when we're coming back, follow the S, how many turns we do, and then count, like it's off the chart now.
Truly once in a lifetime experience being here.
You reckon?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're really glad you said yes?
Yeah.
After some rest in Larsen Harbour, the call of science and cinematography returned, meaning our voyage continued, heading further up the coast of South Georgia. The glaciologists and penguinologists were still able to obtain some data, and so PA set to work to help them on this quest.
However, the weather in South Georgia is unpredictable, and in no time at all, the winds whipped up, a swell grew, and waves collided with jagged cliffs. Soon Pelagic Australis was bracing against gale force winds once again. Even after the winds dropped, whilst in the small anchorage called Koblers Cove, we were only protected from the colossal energy in these waves by the rocky entrance breaking their momentum.
Chris and I had an opportunity to go ashore together, and so we hiked up into the tussock grass covered hilltops in search of the Macaroni Penguins, landing on a rocky shore. After a few hours of searching, we found them, and so we sat and observed the awesome power of the ocean and these tiny but mighty creatures.
After this, we enjoyed a few days of tranquility, passing by Ocean Harbour and enjoying socializing on deck together. We then stopped at one of our favorite places, St. Andrews Bay. Here, we spent time in the company of some of our favorite penguins, the colorful and curious king penguin.
We were fortunate to have visited South Georgia just 5 months earlier, in wintry conditions.
Yeah, go for it.
Where snow blizzards blew. Now, without the snow covering, the landscape had transformed, but the colourful kings were just the same. Instead of traipsing through the snow, we walked along the sandy beach, weaving our way around the wildlife.
We also came across a familiar face down here, the Antarctic fur seals. These were hunted to near extinction, but now thrive here in great numbers.
I'll see you later.
You have to be mindful of them, as they can be territorial, so you always give them a wide berth.
Whether they are keeping us on our toes, being playful with each other, tussling, or sleeping peacefully, we loved being in their company. Whilst the scientists enjoyed being ashore here too, the film team, Hamza and Ruth, spent many hours behind the lens. For cameraman Hamza, it was his first time here. Just watching him captivated by his surroundings was exciting for us.
This place is absolutely amazing. We're in St Andrews Bay at the moment. It's ones like these that we have to watch out for. Busy filming the penguins, and they'll creep up on you, give you a nasty bite.
Soon it was time to head back to Pelagic Australis. Our time here was coming to an end. However, there was one more stop we all wanted to make, and it turned out to be one of the highlights of our expedition. Good morning, Sophie. Are you back on the book, researching our next destination?
Yes, I am. And this one's Prine Island. So I'm really excited to go there with these guys. It's where you get wandering albatross that breed. They nest up there. Last time we were there, we saw a tiny chick. We didn't see much else. This time, we'll see. We're hopefully going to see more wandering albatross. I can show you in the book. It's really cool. Yeah. And this is the island, if I show you here. It's the island of, or Prine Island, so it's just off South Georgia. And we'll drop the anchor probably here, drive the dinghy, is very shallow between these two, and then land here, and then we'll trek up. It's not very far or high, it's about 50 metres to the top there.
We hiked to one of the hilltops where the magnificent wandering albatross breeds. It was time to leave, and South Georgia waved us off with a final gale. We shortened the sails, and Pelagic Australis was on her way home. The work doesn't stop on deck. Below decks, a hungry crew needs to be fed, and while everyone takes their turn cooking, Sophie particularly enjoys making breads. Oh, lovely. Fresh bread. Yeah. Looks delish. Also knock test.
Whilst the miles between us and South Georgia increased, the weather abated, all in good time as we approached Shag Rocks, situated on the South Georgia Ridge. The shallower waters here provide an upwelling of nutrient-rich water, supplying a lot of food for the seabirds and whales here. The penguin team wanted to document the numbers of seabirds on these protruding rocks, and so the task of flying the drone commenced. We left Shag Rocks behind, and our next and final stop, 600 nautical miles away, was the Falkland Islands.
You follow me?
Yep.
Come on,
Where are you off to?
come through. Well, I'm going pretty much the coldest part of the ship right now.
Where is it?
Well, we're going to the forepeak to have a look for some fruit veg, just to top it up. But generally, crew don't venture this way because it's often bumpy, and I say it's pretty cold. I normally wear my hat and coat coming this way, so I'm going to be pretty quick. Come through.
Cool.
And this is where we have our stores. We're running towards the end of the trip, so we're getting a bit low. But yeah, we've got a citrus fruit, onions, potatoes, cabbages. We normally have more fruit up here, fruit veg. But yeah, just coming to the end of the trip. We don't have a fridge on board. I'll show you what we do with our items that we want to keep cool. Yeah, we've got to be quick because it is cold. Stock up on some lemons right now and some potatoes. So I'm going to be making dinner tonight.
What are you making?
Well, it's something I make quite a lot, but I'm making some bean burgers.
Lovely.
The crew are not going to cook tonight because a lot of them are feeling quite queasy.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get out here. I should have put my hat on.
While we're still within the South Georgia and South Sandwich Island Marine Protected Area, we kept all our biodegradable waste in a waste bin on the stern. Once we cleared the Marine Protected Area, which is one of the world's largest MPAs, covering an area 5 times larger than the UK, it was safe to dispose of all biodegradable waste over the site.
Whilst the dolphins bid us bon voyage at the beginning of the expedition, a pod of whales gave us a farewell as we crossed north of the Antarctic Convergence Zone. And so on the final stretch, Ted from Happy Whale had a sighting that he was hoping for, a large pod of whales, and these were humpbacks. After our 5-week expedition to some of the most remote and hostile islands in the world, we sailed into Stanley on a spell of fine weather, where we had our final team debrief.
Thank you everyone, we really did not deserve that. Thanks to the team, thanks to everyone got what they wanted done. Thanks to Jen Black, Jerry Safe for finally winning us done. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Hi everyone, we're back in the Falkland Islands. We dropped off Skip and the team in Stanley, and now we're getting ready for our next expedition. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and hit the like button.
Yeah, and also you can follow our Instagram and Facebook page, as well as our own personal Instagram photography pages, and the details of these are all on the description for this video. We're new to YouTube and we're finding out as we're going along.
Yep, that's it for now. See you back on board Pelagic Australis for our next expedition.